Hello, and welcome to the Dadandson's podcast. Hope you're having a pleasant week. We're here to drop down some sweet beats of noises that you came here to hear. Oh wow, we're really going ham on this. So we have Liam over here, the name dropper, also panty dropper.
Not as much as George after this sick beat.
My keyboard, it's covered in spit. I don't know who I gotta hit.
George hit someone. I wanna see that.
Can confirm George hits people.
I'll tap my computer. It's not an angry commuter.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going, guys?
It's going all right.
Yeah?
I had a pretty cool week.
That's good.
I got a couple things to say about a couple games for once.
Woohoo!
I think I do. But before that, the Dad and Son's question of the week is: what would be the absolute worst name from a video game you could give your child?
We have asked the fan audience
Yes.
and got a response from Nintendo of America's Bill Trennan instead. An official response.
We have an official response from number 2 at Nintendo. That Tingle would be the worst name to name a child.
Can Bill Trennan do that? Like, go against his company's image like that and just, say your own product is the worst name you could name a child?
Yeah, you can imagine a shareholder meeting next year where we saw the trend in names for adults naming their sons Tingle from 2017 to 2018 to rise to about 33%. 2019 took a massive hit with just a meager 12% after Bill Trennan's comments on the Dad and Sons podcast.
So, I have a question for you guys if you are looking at the responses to Matt's tweet.
What's that?
Who is first on your list of replies?
Aubrey.
Dr. Swoosey.
Mine is Orange Vision.
Really?
How does it determine that?
Orange Vision is third for me. So I have Fred, Aubrey, and Orange Vision.
I don't even see Orange Vision. Maybe I blocked him.
I'm worried that I might be experiencing the bubble without me really knowing it. Like the top two people are Orange Vision and the Batlord for me, and those are two like close internet friends, but still real life connections who I've traveled and slept in the same hotel rooms as. So how does Twitter know that?
Do we question algorithms anymore?
We should.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get onto these names, because some of these are great.
And okay, the Fred said Deep Throat, and I'm trying to figure out what game it's from, and I can't.
Is he talking about Metal Gear? Metal Gear Solid, where Gray Fox calls you and uses the alias of Deep Throat? Are you laughing at me because it was a Metal Gear thing?
Yes. So specific.
Also, you saying Deep Throat is kind of weird to me.
Oh, why?
Not you, Matt. Just George.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But
He's never used it other than in the video game context.
I don't think that's ever come up before. I don't think he's ever said it in his life until this point.
I really hope that whoever posted that has the last name of Johnson so that their kid can grow up to be named Deep Throat Johnson.
Or Deep Throat in Johnson.
Deep Throat Jones is a good one, too.
You could get away with a middle name like that. Deep Throat.
Yeah, your middle name is Deep Throat, so your name is something like Steve Deep Throat Jones.
The greatest wrestler of all time.
Well, for what it's worth, I really like Orange Vision's response, which is Jason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Classic.
Poor Jason's. Yeah, I'm talking
Poor
to you,
Jason's.
Jason.
This is definitely a Jason listens to this podcast.
Yeah. I always like that freak out fourth wall thing. That Jason just swerved and crashed his car now.
Jason!
I wonder how many Davids we have watching this podcast.
Any cages in the house? I like Paul Polycarp's untitled child name.
Untitled child name Polycarp.
Matt, what about you?
Personally, or on this question?
No, bring up a new name.
Okay. I'll do the first one I have. Aubrey says Zigbar from Kingdom Hearts.
I think
Any of you guys know what that
Jones.
means from Organization 13? No, Zigbar.
Yeah, isn't he the dude with the scar?
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh.
Oh man, he looks like someone who a 13-year-old would think is real cool.
Yeah.
He has an eye patch. He
And
wears
any 13
black.
wants to be named Zigbar. Like, it's like their Xbox Live
spelled
handle.
with an X. You didn't say it was spelled with an X. That makes it more extreme.
Zigbar. Yeah, that would be
Zigbar
rough. She says
Johnson.
any name from Organization 13. They're all pretty bad.
George?
Run level 6 says Weed Man, spelled WEED space MAN, the Mega Man boss with a video editing weapon.
Is that
What
real?
Mega Man is that?
No, it's not. I highly. Oh my god! I can't believe I'm actually googling this. Weed Man Mega Man. Let's. Oh yeah, there's some video parodies of Snoop Dogg smoking up in the Mega Man opening cutscenes. I don't. No, I can confirm though after successfully googling it that there is no official Weed Man Mega Man level and boss.
Oh,
Unless that was an unsuccessful Google.
could be that.
I like, I think quite a few people named this. I think it's pretty obvious once you hear it, but Nick Kastner wrote Ceaseless Discharge.
Ah.
Oh, this is good.
I mean, most Dark Souls names, I guess. Some of them would be pretty badass, maybe.
Pocus says Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
It's a beautiful baby girl. What are you going to call it? Well, I'm legally and contractually obliged to call it Pepsi Man.
I actually was thinking of saying, specify if it's a male or female, but I was like, nah. We'll just think of it on our own. Takes away some of the fun. What about you guys?
I really like Sinisterio's response. Error from Zelda 2. Remember the guy who just says, I am error?
Yeah.
No, his full name
Beep
has to
boop,
be
beep
I
boop.
am, and then family name Era.
Youch.
Poor
It's
child.
harsh.
I like Brian Palota. His is the wonderful Dreamcast era Seaman.
Poor kid. Poor kid.
Yeah, I don't think you could go wrong with that one.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kyo says plain doll. I don't know where that
Plain doll.
plain doll. I'm guessing that's like a named child. Plain. Oh no, it's not. It's an NPC character in Bloodborne.
Oh, the woman back in the Hunter's Dream.
Yeah, plain
Woman or
doll.
doll.
That's such a weird name to give. I would
There's
assume a female.
there's some real cool kid on Twitter named Dark Beast Par, and their response was
Beast
solid
Par.
with last name in quotation marks. So that would mean that your first name is Solid and your last name is whatever. So I'd be Solid Weedman.
Solid visual.
Oh my god.
Solid Jones. Solid Johnson.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to find. Some people have put down some freaking amazing names and think they're bad, like Solid Snake and Ganondorf and Soul Bad Guy. These are like names children would dream of having. I would dream of naming my child Soul Bad Guy.
Someone like put Matt as well, which is I don't know what video game that's from.
All of them. Immersion Diversion, brackets, Neil, Octodad.
Octodad.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Octodad Jones.
That would be a pretty twist on things.
What about Meat Boy? By Spencer.
What about Callum? Callum says, The Great Mighty Pooh.
Oh no.
I am the great mighty Pooh, and I'm going to throw my scat at you. I loved that scene. I forgot how much I bet I could like sing a mean cover version of that with my baritones. Yeah.
Fragile by Thomas.
Fragile.
Fragile Johnson is also pretty good.
No, that's from the crazy ass video game that all of you guys are touching yourselves for. Death Stranding, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, what about what is the other
The
one?
most
Like,
ridiculous name to give a woman character.
what's the other one? Mama or something like that.
Mama. So apparently reviewers are playing through Death Stranding right now.
Right this very
I don't
second.
want to hear a damn thing about it. I want to see that
Review-
tragedy for myself.
Review embargo is set for November 1st. Official release date is November 15th?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Or is it?
November 8th.
November 8th.
Right?
Okay, yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to be like, holy shit, 2 weeks. That's usually
There are
a
shit ton
sign of
games coming out
confidence.
next month.
Yeah, I got 2 weeks to read the Project Ido novel.
I don't know. Confidence is a strong word. I think Kojima probably wants reviewers to not be able to miss anything.
Ooh, it's also supposed to be a big, massively cooperative multiplayer game, so I wonder how that's going to be working out for the reviewers,
yeah,
too.
they're gonna have everybody. Man, it's out there. It's out in the wild, ish. It exists.
Tim Rogers has confirmed that he will be writing a review as weird as the trailers.
Interesting. I hope it's as good as his Dragon Quest XI review.
What was the gimmick there?
I don't know. It was just a generally really good video review.
He was loving it. If the game was a lollipop, he was deep throating it, for sure. That was the review.
He's a big fan of Dragon Quest, isn't he?
That was a review, huh?
He's a big fan of Dragon Quest, isn't he?
Yeah.
Big fan.
Are any honorable mentions? We got Ganondorf right here.
No, that's a cool name.
We're still
That's
going?
a cool name.
I don't know.
Fuck
man.
you. I'm going to name my child Ganondorf, and I'll fucking show you. You'll be the
pretty
coolest
sure
kid in the
you won't.
world.
I'm pretty sure you won't.
Well, I certainly ain't going to name him Matt. That's for sure.
Earthworm Jim is Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah.
From Timo, there is one NPC in Final Fantasy XIV called Meme Rune.
Meme Rune.
Meme Rune. Meme Rune.
Really? I what the heck? I don't even know how to respond to Meme Rune.
How could we forget probably the greatest of all bad good names? Like, nothing could go wrong with this one. Brought to us by Nitro Rad, our Nitro Dad.
Yeah.
Guiji. Here is my beautiful son. Guiji.
Luigi.
Oh no.
Is he half Italian or something? No. Just his name's Guiji.
That's a terrible name. Absolutely terrible name.
Guiji. Thank you to everybody who
Yeah.
sends in responses to our dumb shit. You help us fill time every
Yeah.
2 weeks, and we love it.
Which means we could talk about video games for what? Like, I actually have video games.
Do you?
I'm excited, yeah.
Let's hear
Okay,
it.
George.
I played a video game to completion.
Wait. Is it an old game?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a game I've been talking about for
So
the past
what-
couple weeks. I think I'm it was like what, a 2.5 week journey. Anyways, I made it through the end of Death Stranding. Not Death Stranding. Why did I just say that? I meant to say Deadly Premonitions because they both begin with dead things and have similar amounts of syllables. And Death Stranding was on my mind because I was looking up release dates and stuff. Yeah, no, I made it to the end of Deadly Premonitions. Deadly Premonition. There's just one. I got to correct myself in that too because I was always habitually saying Deadly Premonitions for some reason.
Nice.
So I'm guessing that Liam has played this and Matt has not.
Yep.
I have.
Okay, so did you get all the way through, Liam?
Yeah, I reconstructed
boy.
the USA.
No, Deadly Premonitions, not Deadly Strandings.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so you might this is I can't tell whether or not you're gonna be with me on this one.
I don't know.
Because
I think Norman Reedus is pretty crazy too.
Well, wait, we're talking about dead premon. Fuck.
Yeah. Deadly Premonition, right? Stranding Part
Yeah,
2.
Deadly Premonition.
Yeah.
The hit auteur Japanese video game by a
Swery
quirky
Kojima.
singular creator. I can't tell. I don't know if I fully get it. Like the first 2 days I had with it were damn good fun, but after that there's a huge gigantic chunk of that game that just feels like a slog to play. And
Too many parcel deliveries.
there's like driving controls that I think are worse in the Switch
More of
version.
a,
Like
it's more of a buggy.
did your what platform did you play it on?
PS4.
Nice. Did your version of the game have engine noises when the car was driving?
I mean, have you seen the game engine? It looks pretty special.
Oh, it looks like a lot of cheap, low-budget Steam releases that get a lot of hate for the press and don't attract huge cult community followings.
Don't talk about
Yeah,
the Gorilla engine like that.
Oh my God, you're just having way too much fun with something that I'm legitimately trying to dance around because I bet my opinion will be controversial.
About some
Matt, how
old
much do you
bad
care-
game? You might as well just say
much-
what you feel.
Well, the thing is that Death Stranding is a game that has like a cult following of fans behind it, and I bet Liam's one of them because he personally drank with the Drink King himself.
You literally just called Deadly Premonition Death Stranding again.
Wait, did I
didn't-
actually do
Yeah,
that?
you did.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that time. Okay.
I did it. I completely infected your mind. Now you will never be able to separate the two. Just like
So,
two main characters or one main character.
which one is it? Matt, how much do you care about Deadly Premonition spoilers?
I don't think I care at all. Go ahead.
All right, listeners,
So Norman
viewers,
Reedus and
countrymen.
Hideo Kojima have a baby.
and you have to run around carrying it in your little backpack pod across the mountains.
A bit like Twin Peaks.
There's so at first I thought it was just going to be Twin Peaks flavored, but as it turns out, it's like I can't tell if it's genuinely just ripping off Twin Peaks or not. Like whatever creativity this thing seems to have of its own ends up like wasted on this imitation rather than an homaging. And then when it does break away from Twin Peaks and become its own thing, it's like the most cliche, stereotypical video game bullshit possible. And maybe it's a time and place thing. Maybe back in 2011 it was still cool to see silly Japanese games get meta aware of how silly Japanese games were in the 80s and 90s. But nowadays, playing it just feels redundant in a way, to me at least. First question of the day was whether or not the version you were playing had engine noises when you drive the car.
I honestly can't remember. I remember liking the game. I didn't play the game on PS4. I was just talking about Death Stranding. I played the game on Xbox 360 about 8 or 9 years ago.
Oh yeah, so that would have been right around launch.
Yeah, it was maybe about a year after launch.
I've been watching some playthroughs from both the Game Grumps and the Super Best Friends, and their versions of the games
Rest in peace.
have engine noises when you drive a car. From what I can tell, it looks like the car driving controls are still sloppy.
Oh
They're
yeah,
at least responsive.
They were horrendous.
In the Switch version, I think they're worse. Like I'm seeing them do moves that I was really, really racking my frustration trying to accomplish. When you were vomiting, I was talking about the QTEs being too fast and weird with the button placements. Like there's one QTE in the lumber mill level where you have to press the R button, and you never do that throughout the entire rest of the game.
Hey, why not?
This one singular attack that multiple enemies in the game have where they shoot a black cloud at you and you dodge it with a QTE because it's not programmed with collision detection. And at first I was kind of enamored by how ambitious and quirky it was, but now like after 15 hours of it, I can't tell if I'm getting old, but those 15 hours felt like an eternity for a good chunk of this game. And during the last 3 hours, I wanted it to end, and the cutscenes went on forever. And they kept the dialogue like has characters waiting to explain something really obvious, and it's that they do exposition jumps all the time. And like if we criticize Kojima for this stuff, if we criticize like bad, imitative, cheap games made on a shoddy engine out of shoddy resources, like Death Stranding does, with half-completed controls and half-completed programming and engineering, why is Swery allowed to get away with this and so many other developers aren't? Like, why is it quirky and cute and fun when he does it, but not when David Cage does it?
I feel like there's I get where you're coming from in that regard. But I feel like there's a genuine authenticity to Deadly Premonition a bit more than other games. I feel like a lot of Metal Gear, especially cutscenes, Kojima's kind of generally just blowing out of his ass a lot. And don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it, but he kind of does feel like he's doing that. In regards to David Cage, he just doesn't understand, I think, human beings, but tries to.
How the hell are the human beings in a David Cage game more convincing than the human beings in Deadly Premonition?
But they're not meant to be. That's my point. Is Twin Peaks, an apt description of human beings in the natural space we live in? Not really. What is Deadly Premonition? Well, it's a love letter to Swery's favorite TV show of all time that he wanted to base a video game around, because there haven't been any video games kind of inspired by Twin Peaks. And it's weird and it's horrid at times. and it's janky, but it definitely was made, I feel like you can feel, with a lot of passion and a lot of love. So much like nitty gritty details are in there, and it doesn't want to waste your time without you remembering something at least. Like
Okay, that's the thing.
you can remember stupid stuff from Metal Gear, right? In the same vein, like everybody who watches Deadly Premonition who plays Deadly Premonition remembers stuff like FK in the coffee and like the weird cereal sandwich with the dude in the wheelchair gas mask thing. Like there's a lot of memorable moments in that game, and I feel like it has a lot of heart to that, which makes it stand out to some people, like Jim Sterling, who gave it like a 10 out of 10.
So, speaking of wasting people's time, though, that's what this game does that ended up grating on me so much harder than I think it could have cured itself from otherwise. Remember the driving distances?
Yeah, they're ridiculous, and all the roads are really dark and everything at night, and you have to actually, like, turn on your lights and stuff like that. It was weird.
It turns out that you don't really have to use the windshield wipers or the turn signals as much as I initially thought, because you can just switch to a third-person camera mode, which solves that problem.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes me wonder how much of a sim it was really intended to be. Like, it's clearly an unfinished game. No one's ever argued that the gameplay is great.
It's very Japanese in the sense that there's just a lot of stuff in there, like crammed in there.
And none of it feels complete.
No. It's like they ran out of time, but they were like, well, let's just try and add some more. It's fine.
I don't think any fans of this game have argued that the gameplay is good, but it's the story where some people get got. And in the Best Friends playthrough, I think it was Matt who had seen Twin Peaks before and Pat who hadn't. And when Pat had gotten to the last final act of the game where all the crazy revelations were happening, he was sucked in and writing it for all it's worth.
Yeah.
Whereas Pat was like scoffing at what a Twin Peaks ripoff it comes off as. So next question is, did you see Twin Peaks before or after playing Deadly Premonitions?
I'd seen a little bit before, and then I had watched it after that. But even then, apart from the general nods and the kind of storytelling nuances, I feel like Deadly Premonition is enough of its own thing. The ending I didn't think was the most shocking and revelating thing.
I thought it was kind of bad, actually.
Oh, I liked it.
Really? Okay, Matt, can we spoil the ending of Deadly Premonitions?
Sure.
Alien demons planting seeds in people's bodies to make zombie murders happen.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, so like...
Why not? Why not?
Because it's dumb. Okay, fine, why not? But if it was executed better, then sure, why not? But it wasn't. Like, okay, so George is the murderer, right?
Yeah, the police officer who had all those, like, Jesus Christ, like that scene outside of, is it the cafe or the church where you see him without his shirt on and he's got all those, like, lacerations on his back?
Yeah, that's the lumber mill.
And you're like,
hour and a half long level.
This guy is fucking crazy.
Enemy.
This is like the cult, Jesus Christ penance.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this dude's
he's also really mean to you the whole game, but then tries to come together, but then veers apart again, and by that time you're just... Remember when he turns into a vampire in the middle of a cutscene and no one just acknowledges it? Everyone just forgets about him turning into a vampire for a minute?
I forgot about that.
There's a scene where he turns into a vampire when Diane dies and throws herself on a pointy statue. Also, fun fact, the audio cut out for that pivotal cutscene of a secondary character's horrific, gory death. There was just silence for like 7 minutes of cutscene.
I think you didn't like it because his name is incredibly similar to yours.
George Woodman. Yeah, I had to do a couple double takes there. But anyways, okay.
You feel like you were just poorly misrepresented, right?
Liam, I'm going to jog your memory here. Matt, you might find this a little ridiculous, but are you ready to hear George's synopsis of how Deadly Premonitions ends?
Sure.
So you play as an FBI agent who goes to a small town to solve a murder. Turns out the murderer was the town sheriff, George Woodman. He has 2 stages of a final boss battle, one in which he has a giant glowing weak point on his back that you shotgun. And the next stage, he turns into a Super Saiyan. His hair glows white. It starts floating above it starts floating above his head. He like tears his shirt up and fights you with fireballs shirtless. And then you find out that it wasn't just George Woodman who was responsible. It was also like the local fat foreigner and Japanese media guy, Kaisen. I forget his last name, but his first name was Kaisen. And he's this obese, chunky, big white farmer type guy wearing overalls with, like, I don't know, he might as well have a straw coming out of his mouth. And that's another thing that was so obvious to see coming. He looks like one of the villains from Dead Rising, like a boss fight from Dead Rising. He looks like one of the villains from Silent Hill 2. If you guys remember the fat kid who was a murderer who was hiding out in the town. Like, if a fat white guy shows up in a Japanese video game and he looks like his face is capable of an angry smirk, he's probably going to turn out to be a villain. So Kaisen turns out to be a villain. And he has 4 stages of a final boss fight that keep faking you out about whether or not it's actually going to end. You find out that he's been planting supernatural magic seeds in people's bodies that cause them to turn into zombies and kill people. And apparently there was an old military experiment gone wrong in this small town, which is also like one of the most cliche, easy solutions. Dig back to watching movies that Death Proof was parodying in 2007 to come up with that one. Like, even Twin Peaks doesn't get that Stephen King. Kaisen is an extraterrestrial demon lord planting red murder seeds in people and causing zombie gas from the refining process of that. He turns into a giant wrecking ball boss for one of his phases. During another phase, he becomes a weird spider monster mutant creature. During another phase, he becomes the giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters and swats at you as his oversized character model stands outside of a boss arena and displays his weak points to you. You find out that the main character, who's had an imaginary friend named Zach all along, switches personalities over, and then you don't know which one is York and Zach, which I think is kind of like a cool element of this incredibly derivative, stereotypical story, getting into the psychological recesses of a main character who's creating video game cliches out of the thing is, I wish there was a way. God, I can't believe I'm saying this. 18-year-old me would hate me for this, but I wish there was a way to skip gameplay of this stuff. Because I liked the first 2 days of Deadly Premonitions and wanted to see how it ended, but the process of getting there was a slog, and the ending itself was... Oh my god, I didn't even talk about how another killer was the local neighborhood cross-dresser. That was weird.
Wait, is that Kaisen?
No, it was Thomas, the effeminate cop who's good at cooking and walks all dainty. Turns out to be a cross-dresser who kills people.
In hindsight, when you think about it, everybody in Deadly Premonition who looks like they could be a killer is a killer. Kaisen, George, definitely George.
There's a big running monologue at the end about how you're supposed to shoot your love interest if she gets infected by zombie seeds, and you don't even know. In my headcanon, I don't even know if that's the actual continuity of what's going on in Zork's real life. I don't know. The only way I'm able to really make it make sense to myself is by imagining that a lot of the crazy shit you're seeing are figments of his imagination.
Yeah, a lot of it's left open to interpretation, which I feel like is okay.
Yeah, I do have to preface the stuff with York and Zach, the Zork stuff, as
Zork.
the one aspect of the story that I did think was cool. Him creating it as an alternate personality to help cope with the death of his father killing his mother is neat. However, the explanation that the game gives for his father killing his mother, and why apparently you're supposed to click the dialogue option to kill Emily, even though you're not going to kill Emily anyways, which is why I didn't pick it and had to replay the segment again, which cost me like 5 to 7 minutes. That stuff was stupid. Like, what's the phrase? In order to something shouldn't be in this world, so you have to get rid of someone you love, and then the dad is like, I couldn't do it, son. I couldn't kill my wife. Why would you want to kill your wife? Don't kill the... I don't... Ah!
A lot of this stuff I just don't remember. Sounds like you had fun with Death Stranding, though.
Ah! I can't tell if I was having fun with Death Stranding or not.
No,
this
I
might
don't-
be a problem.
I don't know either. Delivering packages constantly can get better.
Wait, did I just say it?
Yeah, you did.
I did. I just fucking said it, didn't
People
I?
are gonna think you genuinely are doing this on purpose, but you are genuinely not.
No,
I
I'm
am
famous for
genuinely doing
like
this on purpose.
mispronouncing and missaying things.
Missing things. What do you reckon would be better, Death Stranding or Deadly Premonition?
I'm probably gonna like Death Stranding, but I don't know.
Ooh.
Death Stranding looks like it has production values and a properly calibrated analog drift.
We'll see. I don't know. When he runs down the mountains in the trailers, I feel like the controls are a little off when I look at it, but, you know, we'll find out on November 1st.
When you read Tim Rogers' trailer for the review of Death Stranding.
It's so weird that... No, I was going to say Konami. No, it's so weird that Sony is allowing journalists to say they're playing it now, and journalists are saying that. I find that super weird. Like, all it's going to do is attract really crazy attention from people who are going to demand in your Twitter DMs or Facebook messaging or whatever to know more about the game before or prior, and you're going to have to deal with a shit ton of that. Or when you post a review of the game and people who know you've been reviewing it are going to be like, if you give it like a 7 or whatever, are going to be like, you didn't play it properly. I saw you were tweeting at this time at 6 a.m. in the morning. You were definitely not playing the game properly. So I don't know why people are inviting that kind of potential pitfalls based around saying they're playing the games already.
I suppose they are aware of the risks and willing to bite the bullet and...
Yeah, it's still super weird. Haha, I have this thing early. Haha. I mean, okay.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to think it would be exciting to review video games early before they come out, but now, like, I don't envy them at all. They're going to be playing the game...
I reviewed Skyrim, and I got to play it a month before it came out, and that, I will admit, was exciting, because at the time, Skyrim obviously was so, like, the hyped up for, and I remember thinking the whole time, like, wow, this is going to blow people's minds. This game is living up to it. I can't wait to talk about it.
Two things. Number one, Skyrim did not have that live multiplayer element, which drastically changes games from review to playing.
Yes. That's not...
And number two, actually 3 things. Number 2, you had a month. These Death Stranding reviews, if they started it over the past couple days, they got 2.5 weeks.
I think they started a week ago, so it will be 3 weeks.
Week ago, 3 weeks. That's not a month, but that's still a much more generous period than I have been given, because I hated hated rushing through
Well, if you think 3
Watch
weeks,
Dogs 2,
40-hour
Fallout
weeks,
4.
average of 35 hours while playing the game. Probably most reviewers, fair play to them, do play a heck of a lot more in their free time as well to get these reviews done. I think they can cover a good 80 hours or so of the game.
Reviewing Skyrim with a month to play before embargo lifts is probably nicer than reviewing Death Stranding for 3.5 weeks before embargo lifts because
Indeed.
you have more time, there's no multiplayer element, and
My point was that it was exciting. And
I haven't even gotten to the worst one yet, though.
What's that?
Gamergate had not happened.
No, but I feel like you've always still had the crazy people who want to know everything and will bug you constantly.
Yeah, but now their numbers were like buffed by four times.
Social media is a completely different beast from then.
There is literally no way that the Julia Alexander from Kotaku and Tim Rogers from Kotaku are going to get shitloads of hate for no reason, no matter what they say about this game.
Yeah. Man, games are weird. Like, just, how did we get to this point?
By not moderating communities and comments and forums and failing to act in the face of injustices being committed. by harboring a culture of edgy hatefulness and encouraging it.
Well, speaking of edgy hating and games that I disliked and stuff like that, before we move on, I would like to have a brief moment to hear your thoughts from this week, from space.
From it begins with a D and an E.
Oh
from
my
Death
god!
Stranding
from Destiny.
So
2.
time zones suck.
Yeah, we've tried.
We've tried.
We will get there.
The one part of your schedule that matches up with mine to play this game is your lunch break.
I know, and today I had to sort out getting a new phone, which didn't help.
God, you just said today, but I played it last night before bed.
I was hoping you were crazy enough to get on after I finished work before recording this podcast.
Oh man, I had to make the podcast outline, but actually
we need to do the raid. I haven't been able to do the Leviathan raid because I'm
with you
people.
Actually, because back when Monster Hunter World was out, me and Matt would play that just before podcasting, and it was like a great way to get the juices flowing. Anyways, Destiny 2 is as much a mixed bag as you had warned.
Yeah, I told you, man.
Speaking of games where I don't know whether or not I'm having fun, like, that question hovers over my brain intensely when over the days I've been playing this thing. So, Death Stranding 2 begins with a level from Death Stranding 1.
Wait, are you doing this on purpose?
God damn it, no! Ah! When you boot up Destiny 2 and you play through that level from Destiny 1, the thoughts going through my mind were like, oh, wait a second, do I have to play through all of Destiny 1 before I can get to Destiny 2? And then you finish that opening tutorial level, which has a sidekick that voices you through with, like, reactive...
It's like a redone part, though. You're like a dead version of your Destiny character.
I thought you were dead in Destiny 1 too, and you just wake up in the Cosmodrome.
Oh my god, I don't even know. This is how confusing this nonsense is. New Light, Destiny 2, Red Mind, War, Curse of Osiris. I don't know.
That opening level of Destiny 1 at least twice, and to be fair, that was a couple years ago. That was like 2015. And what I played a week ago at the beginning of Destiny 2 did more or less seem exactly like how I remembered it.
Yeah, but it's very brief, so...
It is also a complete tonal shift from how the rest of the game's content is delivered.
Well,
like, that opening level is...
It just doesn't help itself. It's all over the place because it's a live service game and so many people are in so many different positions, whether they're playing through... transferring a character over from Destiny 1 for the first time to Destiny 2, or you're a brand new player, or you're somebody who's played all the way through, it's not even like MMO bad where, you know, you're just put in a different zone and you're miles away from people. It's like you're all in the same place, but characters who are in campaign missions for you and not there anymore for everybody else. And when you go to the hub, they're not there for you either. And people talk about them in the past tense, and it's really weird.
I managed to get a group going, and they showed me the little hidden NPC that actually continues the story, who's hiding out in a garage with...
Yes! Oh my god, yes!
And it turns out that we couldn't even start, because there were too many players to do that.
I haven't even touched that. Like, it's like Amanda Handley or whatever, the woman in the hangar, like, fixing ships. So dumb.
Engineer,
Why would the
girl,
mechanic...
Cindy Arum...
Why would the mechanic be the person you go talk to for the literal campaign quests?
Especially when you open your quest log, there is a quest called the main quest, and it just tells you to level up.
Yeah, it's like, go to all of these different planets, then come back and do this. And you're like, okay, what do I do on those planets, though? Where do I go? Well, Destiny's like, I don't know. Well, you just do it. Just fucking get some XP and unlock the planets, and you know, you'll be fine. But I don't know about you though, but once you start playing, as I said last week, it's like, it's fun. It's really fun shooting things and getting new weapons and going to all these cool, beautiful looking planets. Because, my God, does Destiny 2 look amazing at sometimes. Wow, it's so good. How have you felt in that regard?
Once again, like, it's a freaking grab bag. Like, the PvE seems too easy, but it's also fun if I have fun guns. And in order to get my numbers... Fun guns, yes. Fun guns. In order to get my numbers up real high, I ended up sticking with the stuff that had the highest numbers because I wanted to hit that level up goal. And for a good 3 hours, I was just using 2 different kinds of 3-round burst rifles, and I wanted variety. I wanted vehicles and sandboxes and enemy variety.
That's probably because you were being stubborn. You were probably getting guns all the time, yet you refused to change and try stuff.
Oh, they're not spilling out like a wound from Borderlands.
What? What have you been doing? Like,
well, maybe I'm not at the point that you're at.
No. What is your light level now? What is your power?
Well, last night was also a different night than the nights I'm talking about. Right now, I think it's hovering just below 800.
Yeah, so you should be like overflowing with guns if you're just doing like normal quests.
There's like 6 options for all 3 slots, and I finally was able to find a shotgun with a higher number than the 3-round burst rifles, and I get to use the shotgun again.
Where are you? Have you just
I'm just unlucky.
No. It's the way the game is built. For me, it was like, you do a quest, you'll get given armor, and then I dismantled blue armor and I equipped the purple, and like it was rinse and repeat.
I'm not doing it by color. I'm doing it by number. So for the first 2 sittings of the game, the highest numbered guns I was getting were 3-round burst rifles.
Okay.
And
so much of this game is not explained. Like, after 30 hours, today, the guy I'm playing with pointed out to me that you can hold down on the energy tab, in the armor and stuff. You can hold down on the little, white squares that show you how much energy you have available on an armor piece, which means if the more energy you have, the more mods you can equip to it. I don't even know what
that is.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could hold it down to gain more energy, so you can equip more mods. You can pay Glimmer to do that, and I was like, what? You can do that? I was just looking around for pieces that had high numbers in energy so I could add more mods. The game explains nothing. It is nothing. You really need people to help you understand.
If I have a shotgun and a grenade launcher instead of a bazooka, and a friend, and the Crucible, suddenly I'm having a fucking blast.
Yeah, I do like the Crucible as well. But I've only played.
Crucible's great.
I've only played that one mode though so far. Control. Like that. I've played 10 games of Control. I haven't played anything else. I don't know what they are. They're all named things, but it's not like it doesn't have brackets underneath it like player deathmatch or 3v3 deathmatch and stuff like that.
I really, really have to pee. I'll be right back.
Wow.
Oh, I thought it was him like having an orgasm.
So yeah, you were saying.
I don't know. Your peeing made me lose track of where I was going, but at least we have Matt back
Hello.
to sort of.
I wouldn't be able to explain what you're going through because I've been playing Destiny since like the first one, but I
So
also
really,
don't
like,
understand
Yeah.
what the issue is. I guess because I guess maybe
just
I'm
doesn't-
used to it.
It doesn't explain anything beyond the tutorial, which, is just shooting things and learning how to move and stuff. It doesn't explain anything. It doesn't explain, especially now they have the Armor 2.0, which is what all these mod things are, I believe. It doesn't explain anything. It doesn't explain how to mod them, what they are, how to get more. Like, it doesn't explain anything. Like, infusing guns and putting different mods on it. Like, can you buy mods? You can't buy mods. I find it weird that in the game so far, I haven't been able to craft guns. It's like,
What's the deal?
There's a lot to this game, and almost 0% of it is ever explained.
What's the deal with quest markers? How come like quest markers sometimes show up and
And then
sometimes,
sometimes
don't?
don't.
And
I have
sometimes I gotta
no
press the
idea.
back button to follow them.
Yeah, I don't know. But I love playing it. I really, really do. I really, really like
Until
it.
you
I don't know
don't.
what it is. I'm in
What
it.
is it, do you think? Like, is it the feel of it?
I like the... Yeah, I just like jumping in and like, grouping up with my buddy and going down to like, what should we do? Should we do like some adventures down on Mars? And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And you go down, you set up the adventures, and then you accidentally, while you're running towards an adventure, you find yourself in a public event, so you feel obliged to help out. And you do like a public event, and you're like shooting shit, and there's particle effects everywhere, and everything looks cool. And then you get like a new rocket launcher, and you're like, this looks good. And then you start firing it, and you're like, whoa, this is shit. And you go back to what you were using before, and then you carry on with your adventure, and you finish the adventure, and you get new stuff, and then you use that stuff to complete bounties or all this kind of stuff. It's like a weirdly cathartic rinse and repeat. And it very much is rinse and repeat. That's all Destiny is. It's very, very rinse and repeat. But a lot of the like level design is really unique about Destiny. I find it to be almost I'm envious of like the depth of which you can go to. Like the one that blows my mind the most is Lost Sectors. Have you done any of that, George?
No.
Matt, you know what Lost Sectors are, right?
Doesn't ring a bell.
So on the maps of like the different planets, there are these like icons that kind of look like little bridges or doorways, that like two upside down U's, and that's signals what a lost sector is, which basically is a part of the map that is like a secret dungeon, and they're like 10 or 15 minutes max, and you go and you fight through hordes, and then you fight a big boss.
Oh, yeah.
But like the hidden caves that or buildings that these things take place in, because they can be quite well hidden. You would not find them if it didn't have these big graffitied logos on the side of them. You go down in there and you like follow it for a bit, and you follow the path, and then it opens up and it says like Lost Sector, and then you're like, holy shit, there's this whole underground cavern system, and it'll have like these spectacular wide open spaces or huge platform areas, and you're like, wow, this is just a one-off spin area that you just have fun in to get some extra loot. But the attention to detail that goes into like crafting the depth and verticality in Destiny 2 really impresses me at times. I love moving around and like just, shooting shit while hovering from platform to platform and all that kind of stuff. I really like it.
That's how they
I
get
want you
bro.
both to be in my clan. Can you
I
be
don't
in
know
my
if
clan?
that's like gonna do it for me.
Can you be in my clan?
I think I'm already in a different clan.
No, you.
Can I change clans?
Why did you do that?
Because the internet friend sent me an invite.
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want to pick my friends' favorites.
Wow.
I don't think I can work under these conditions.
I'll go to another fire team. Wow.
Matt, will you be in my clan?
Yes, absolutely.
Matt, you already in a clan?
No, probably not. I solo played Destiny 2 all the way through. I haven't played the new expansions though.
Apart from the Crucible, I can't see myself ever being able to play the PvE without somebody else.
Yeah, I found it really kind of boring.
Yeah, there's something that's just fun about multiplayer that makes shit games, or at least mediocre games, a lot better.
Wow.
And I feel like Destiny 2 is not a shit game, but I definitely can see it becoming more mediocre as time goes on if you don't have a group of people to play with.
Yeah.
Crucible, though, I could play on my own. Like, that's just a good shooter multiplayer, so I like that stuff. But strikes and all that kind of stuff with random people, I don't know.
It's not so fun. There's a lot of normies go through there. A lot of garbage. All of a sudden
leftovers.
AFKing and it's like
disconnecting and all that kind of stuff.
It's like, yo.
I like that. I don't know how it works. Like, I thought there was like looking for group and stuff, so we could do the Leviathan raid and stuff, but it seems like that kind of stuff you actually have to get people together to do, which is tough. Join my clan.
Okay. Are there like any negative repercussions whatsoever for not?
Yeah. You hurt me.
But I didn't even know you had a
You hurt me.
No. I think there's a Discord chat, proving that you knew, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
This is like the twist in Death Stranding.
I can't wait until Norman Reedus turns out to be an alien demon planting red seeds and
you have to shoot him, and the final boss fight consists of shooting him on the moon.
Let's move on. Matt, did you got something for this week?
I played. Is that the only thing I played? Indivisible.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice. I want to know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're gonna break my heart, aren't you?
Indivisible is pretty good. So it's I guess an RPG. You don't grind. Which is probably my only thing I don't like about it. You can't get powerful.
You don't like that?
Yeah, because you can't get powerful. You always have to just like play this like fighting
Use
game,
your wits.
mini game every time you like try to fight these bosses that are. I wouldn't say they're hard. They could just be a little annoying if you like miss the tooltips. Like, oh, you have to juggle them. Like, oh, okay, I get it. They teach you a lot of different stuff. I'm only like 3 hours in. They teach you a couple of different stuff, like you would have to press down attack and up attack to break the guard, or you have to press up attack to juggle them in the air, and then you kind of it's like a fighting game, and then you kind of juggle them with all the other characters that you have. Each character, which are a ton of characters.
How close would you say the system is to something like a Paper Mario, where you like press little action button prompts to land an RPG hit?
No, I don't think it's like Paper Mario. From what I remember, anyway. This one, like, you have, if you can, when you're looking at the video, you can see that you have all your 4 buttons, and each button is to a person. And if you're pressing up or down or just holding it or whatever, it will do something different each time. So there is a character that you get early on that can slow down the enemy. So if you press down and their attack button, depending on where they are in your little, I guess, diamond, you press like X and down, and it slows down the enemy. And you can do it up to 3 times if you have 3 of those little jewel things. you see how many attacks you have if you see like how many attacks is under the actual character. So slow down the enemy, and then other characters can come in and kind of beat the hell out of them before they can attack, and juggling and stuff like that kind of like pushes their attack back, because if you get hit a lot in this game, you kind of die pretty quickly. And there are some healers as well, but I feel like, at least right now, like the healing, it's good and all, but it's better just to kill the guys as fast as possible. Because like yeah. But yeah, it's like kind of like a fighting game, which I'm terrible at.
It's made by like, I think it's made by, that sort of Evo crowd, fighting game community developers. They're called Lab Zero. I think they're a big part of...
Skullgirls.
Oh, is it actually the Schoolgirl Studio?
Girls, not schoolgirls.
Skullgirls.
I know Skullgirls have like a person in it. They have a lot of cameos.
Yeah, they're the team that brought you
okay.
Skullgirls.
That would make more sense.
Which is a lot cleaner than Skullgirls, let me say.
There's more 3D going on in the backgrounds than I was expecting.
So yeah, overall, so far, they keep introducing new mechanics. It's not getting old. I would say the worst thing about it is like the story. You're just sucking in.
Good?
You're just sucking in people into your brain. First, just like cliche stuff, and then you're sucking people into your mind, and people are okay with it. It's weird.
Just like you two, who live and only exist inside of my mind.
Yes, you're really good.
How can this podcast be real if your mind's not real?
I'm able to do 3 voices at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. It's crazy.
Matt's voice is my default voice, or I wish was my default voice. Like, I feel like if our podcast was like a Saints Row, character creator where they had all the different voices, and we looked at the stats, Matt's voice would be like the number 1 chosen every time.
You're right.
I always picked the like Cockney, British sounding ruffian.
Aw. You're just trying to make me feel better.
Well, he was also the best voice.
He was like, "Oh, well, George is so nice." No, he's just telling the truth.
So let's see how reviews are looking for Indivisible.
They're pretty decent, I thought.
Bum, 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 bum. Low 80s on Metacritic. GameSpot
Low
gave it a 7
80s,
out of 10.
Ooh, is it?
Yeah. IGN gave it the good old 8.8.
Is it on the Switch?
Oh, I hope it is actually. Let's see.
It has to be.
That is a game
Yeah.
I would love to
Yeah.
play on the Switch.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I
It
want
is.
to play all games on Switch, but
It's on the Switch, PS4, Xbox, everything.
You said it gets repetitive. I wonder if playing it on the Switch helps solve that problem.
I didn't say it gets repetitive.
Oh,
No, I said I only.
Sorry, I thought that's what you meant by the combat.
Oh no. I mean, no. I'm only 3 hours in. They introduced more mechanics, so I mean, they could keep introducing more mechanics. I don't want to say it gets repetitive, and then they introduce some like crazy thing that changes up the game. But yeah, so far it's just kind of like the same stuff.
So yeah, like 8 out of 10s kind of means it could probably go both ways for what you've seen so far.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I would think. I think the 7 is like, I don't really like numbers, but it seems about right, like 7 or 8. Like depending on what you care about. Like if you don't care about story, then it'll probably be a little bit higher number. Yeah, but it's the tropes. Like, oh my God, the village is on fire. It's just kind of.
Oh no, your cute home village gets attacked by bad guys.
So dumb. So dumb. I can't. I play way too many to just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is fine. It's like, how lazy can you be to do that? I don't know. Whatever.
That's like, it's a curse, though. The more media you consume, the more it all starts to look the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I consume way too much. So maybe it's just me. But yeah, that Indivisible, it's okay. it's good, I guess. Yeah.
I still kind of want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still kind of want to play it too. Thing is, I just gotta. I'm so much more comfortable now than I was when I was younger, just like acknowledging that I don't want to beat a lot of games and telling fans to like skip sections or just play the beginning. Because with Deadly Premonition, the beginning is so good.
But it's still like 40 hours long. How long is like Indivisible? I kind of,
It's
even
not
though
that
it's an
long.
RPG, I can't imagine it's that long. Yeah.
Yeah. How long to be? Which is probably why
We
I would
got,
finish it.
Oh, it has not been reported yet.
No way.
I can't believe that this game came out on October 7th. I thought there would have been more fanfare. The Kickstarter campaign was like super hype
Yeah, it
a few
was.
years ago.
It was.
It's because it's been so long.
Ouch,
And there's not been
though.
exactly like the sort of traditional sort of hype build up these days with social media and stuff. That team
Yeah.
was super quiet about this game for a long time. I was kind of like, maybe it's not panning out as well as they hoped, kind of thing.
It's weird because there weren't, like, besides Destiny, I think there weren't any big October first week releases that could have shrouded it over either.
There's a lot of games coming out right now.
Next month's going to be nuts.
Even this month, right? There's been a fair few. I'm trying to.
Yeah, we're
remember.
getting the new Call of Duty in just like a couple days. Outer Worlds is something I might be interested in. That's coming out in like a couple days too. And then next month we're gonna have Death Stranding and RDR2, the PC ports coming out next month.
So yeah, I'm trying to hang on a sec. There's obviously Luigi's Mansion 3 at the end of this month. The Witcher 3 came out on Switch today.
The Switcher.
The Switcher, Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, which supposedly is
It's
hot
really
garbage.
good. It's really good. It's absolutely good. Thank you for the
that
check,
just means it's my
Ubisoft.
kind of game.
Thank you.
Google Stadia is releasing on November 19th.
No
wow.
way. Oh my god. I can't wait to see if this burns or if it's amazing. I hope it's amazing because I would love
It's only
to
coming
play.
out in the US though, right?
Huh?
It's only coming out in the US to begin with.
You would know better than we do.
I don't know anything. I don't know jack shit. John Wick Hex came out this month. I don't want to play that.
Yay.
Oh, George, I've got a game that you need to play and report back on.
Wait, was Borderlands 2 the reason why no one paid attention to Indivisible coming out? Wait, no, that came out in September. Yes, what?
And also, it's Borderlands 3.
But I am so bad with names today. What is
Actually,
the deal?
I think I have a game for each of you that you should play that's coming out in October. This is how stacked October is.
Okay.
So, George, you need to check out Asgard's Wrath for
Asgard's
VR.
Wrath.
Asgard's Wrath. That sounds
So,
like Azura's Wrath.
It's kind of come out of nowhere, but it's one of the highest reviewed VR games of all time and has been quoted as the must-own VR game so far.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes, it is a
So like
Norse-
another Super Hot?
No, it's like a Norse mythology-based action. I don't know, VR title that's kind of parts Skyrim, parts Goddess.
I guess I'll blow
Like
off.
you have a god mode and you can like lift monsters and stuff and then be the monsters and then fight and stuff like that. But it's got like a 9.5 from IGN and everything.
Holy.
And the other one that I
Crap.
think Matt will enjoy is Children of Morta.
I already played it.
Oh, you already played it.
Yeah,
I
you had
beat
a big
it.
discussion chunk on it.
Yeah, I beat it. It's
Wait,
good.
was I-
That's a good game.
Was I vomiting?
I think you might have been vomiting.
Well, there you go. See, at least I knew what my boy likes.
Yeah, man. It was good, man. The pixel
There
art
you
was good,
fucking
man.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, the voice acting is probably like the voice acting, the story. That's probably what kept me intrigued because I'm not usually in for roguelikes. I don't like roguelikes, but I end up playing them because that's like the only thing that's good around here these days. It's like people just make roguelikes for some reason and they make them good. It's like, all right, I guess I'll just play another roguelike. Yeah, but yeah, it was good. It was good. What happened to the? Where's that game that looks like Fallout? Something Wilds.
Yeah, the
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds. Okay.
No, Outer Wilds is different from Outer
Yeah,
Worlds.
Oh my
I know.
God.
That's why I keep getting them confused. It's
Fuck,
the 25th.
people need to name games better.
Yeah, the 25th. The 25th. That seems interesting, right? That could be a good October one.
The older you get, the more names just start to sound the same.
I think there was a preview for the Outer Worlds from most places yesterday, and supposedly it's looking pretty good.
There's 60 seconds.
They're appealing to Fallout New Vegas fans, which is an infamously buggy, glitchy game.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how well everyone's threshold for jank is going to be when this comes out, and if Obsidian is going to be keeping up the Obsidian jankiness tradition that, I don't know, between you and me, like the Pillars of Eternity releases were like smooth and polished and fine, but
I think about doing
maybe
Baldur's Gate. Because Pillars of Eternity, I don't know, man. I never got through it.
I mean, I can feel that. It's just the game managed to capture your mouse cursor correctly without having to install mods is the difference between that and Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You know, I've said my piece about Deadly Premonition, right? But that goddamn ukulele song with the whistling is... It's been in my head for weeks.
Weeks? How long has... It took you that long to beat it?
Yeah, about a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks. Multiple weeks, more than 1 week.
I would like to see how your day goes, George. I have like a tight schedule. It's like work, play, going out, you know.
I wish I went out more, but
I told you the deets.
Yeah.
I gave you all the juicy bits.
Well, before we keep going down holes of unrelated things listeners aren't going to know about, we should take a break and move on to the news.
News.
Before more of my juicy bits drip into the podcast.
I just had some juicy bits. No.
Say you're going to buy a CD player and you're thinking. But then you hear about the next generation CD player.
It's called CDI, and it works with your TV to bring you the ultimate in movies, games, and family entertainment.
Awesome is right. Awesome sound, awesome pictures, awesome choices.
CDI, tell a friend.
CDI kid, huh?
Now get into CDI, starting at $2.99 with $200 of free software.
Hello and welcome back to Dad and Sons after a slight pee break and a slight look on dategamers.com, right, George?
What? That's a thing?
No, that's not a thing.
Oh, okay. I'll put my pants back on.
But what is a thing is the news.
You really got me with that one. So remember how last week we talked about China?
When do we not talk about China?
I know, right? Jesus Christ.
Is that our fault or is that China's fault? I'm not really sure at this point.
It's China's fault. Yeah, I guess in this situation there's pretty pretty clear antagonist, at least, in terms of how the news is presented to us. There's been a follow-up from last week's China news in the video game world where Blizzard got roped into the controversies over increasingly dire protests over whether or not people in Hong Kong are going to get extradited to mainland China after committing crimes, and along with 5 other demands, which include democracy and votes. Blizzard banned a Hearthstone esport athlete, stripped them of their winnings after speaking out during an interview in support of the protests. The rule being cited as being broken was that the conversation was being directed away from the game towards real-life political issues. And for some reason, the 2 casters who were doing the interview at the time got punished as well. The backlash over that was immense. It's absolutely dominated whatever social media you probably follow for the past week when looking up on game news. There's a lot of fan artwork depicting May as a pro-Hong Kong protester now. Like, kind of a real incendiary, sadder version of the invention of Bowsette last year. Blizzard has responded to their banning this streamer and the 2 streamer casters doing the interview, or banning the e-athlete and the 2 casters who were doing the interview. Blizzard has responded to the controversy by softening their punishments while still kind of keeping them punished.
Yeah.
They released a statement on their Hearthstone blog saying, quote, "Every voice matters, and we strongly encourage everyone in our community to share their viewpoints in the many places available to express themselves. However, the official broadcast needs to be about the tournament and to be a place where all are welcome."
No. Fuck you. Fuck off.
So now people, the Hong Kongers, don't feel welcome, though, but I guess also the mainland Chinese would have not felt welcomed. Is that the idea? Like, what do they have to lose in the event that the 2 systems, 1 country situation remains the case up till 2040s?
Wait,
like,
as in
what's
Hong
the stake
Kong?
for the mainlanders? No, we all know what Hong Kong has to lose. But compared to how their standard of life and the rights that they currently enjoy exist on the mainland, what did they have to lose if Hong Kong gets their way?
It looks like it makes China look weak.
So I guess Blizzard has massive amounts, something like 500 million Hearthstone players in China who they didn't want to look weak by having a Hearthstone esports athlete speak out in protests of something their government's not in support of. Quote, "When we think about the suspension, 6 months for Blitzchung is more appropriate. We now believe he should receive his prizing. With regards to the casters, remember their purpose is to keep the event focused on the tournament. That didn't happen here, and we are setting their suspension to 6 months as well. The specific views expressed by Blitzchung were not a factor in the decision we made. I want to be clear, our relationships in China had no influence on our decision."
Oh my god, how can you talk such ass? Like, for real. Like, how can you just blatantly say something like that when you just know full well you are talking out of your ass?
What I'm suspecting is that no officials in China made them do this, so much as the officials crunched the numbers and realized, holy shit, if we take a hit from our Chinese audience, that's gonna affect our bottom line.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why
So
it's
it's
such
not-
ass.
It's
Saying-
not that their personal relationships in China had an influence, it's their impersonal business trends in China.
Yeah, but Tencent,
that are more
Tencent
likely.
own a stake in Blizzard.
Oh, geez, they own a stake in... They own Riot, too, which
Yeah.
we'll be getting to in a hot minute.
Well, they own a lot of... Well,
and
they own...
Epic.
They own a lot of shares in a lot of video game companies.
It's been a very strange ride watching the dominance of the Western superpowers become economically threatened by the dominance of China's economy power.
It's pretty mad to think about how many companies Tencent have just started to own over the past 2-3 years. Nobody knew who Tencent really was. Well, especially Western video game audiences, even in Asia, until, in recent times. Definitely, like, only since League of Legends got popular, I think.
So the question is, how long will it last? Blizzard has canceled an event in New York City at the Nintendo Superstore that was going to be a promo for the Switch port of Overwatch. They were going to have some voice actors doing meet and greets with fans. That has now been canceled. It was scheduled for October 16th. They have not officially released a statement explaining why. However, social media groups have popped up planning to protest the event, and there is at least one fan group that is actively organizing a protest outside of BlizzCon this year. They're going to be trying to do some picket lines. Demands include that Blizzard release a statement in support of Hong Kong and make a My Hong Kong protester costume, which seems not likely.
It's tough. Well, it's not tough. It's very simple to not say dumb shit like, our business, nothing to do with our business in China.
Or just let the streamer say his piece, let the interviewers continue on and rush it out and not make a fuss out of it, and no one would have probably noticed. The Streisand effect is totally a real thing. I am intimately familiar with the process. Any further comments or suggestions, gentlemen?
Nope.
Next up, we have Riot Games, who are also owned by Tencent.
It's the Tencent Power Hour.
They're spending all that Tencent League of Legends money on some new projects, finally, after a year of making one game and hiring a shitload of people for it.
1 year.
10 years, sorry. My
bad. 1
year.
Bad.
See, I was thinking of numbers that begin with 1, okay? Yeah, okay. Liam, correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever you are at a gaming industry event, how often do you not see a Riot hiring booth?
I don't know. I'm really noticing it's weird because Riot, League of Legends came out in 2009. That's super early for the convention runs we have now with like 8,000 packs a year and E3 and Gamescom and stuff like that. So Riot haven't really, other than, hiring people or recruiting, I've never had to be present at any of these events. So it's going to be interesting to start seeing Riot booths appearing, demonstrating new games.
I can't say I've seen them at the fan events like MagFest, but I have totally seen Riot literature scattered around the 3 GDCs I've been to. They were everywhere out there in California and in Gamescom in Germany too.
Well, they have studios in Germany and Ireland and LA, so yeah, it would make sense.
And now they're doing stuff with them. With all those studios they've acquired and people that they've hired, they're making games that aren't League of Legends. They had a 10-year anniversary stream the other night where they have announced a number of projects, like a good chunk. First up on the docket, we got Project A tactical FPS that in gameplay footage looks kind of like Overwatch, but with the aesthetics of Dirty Bomb. It's the one project on their list that all run the gamut of the competitive multiplayer spectrum, but it's the one that does not take place in the League of Legends universe. And this one, they're going to try to branch out, make some new lore for it. There is also Project L, a fighting game, which takes place in the League of Legends universe. You can watch like Jinx beat people up in some teaser footage they've put out. The fan speculation is that this Project L is going to be headed up by the Rising Thunder team, who Riot acquired in 2016. And if you remember, Rising Thunder was a fairly well-received 2016 fighting game that I think had some early access release before it got scooped up by Riot. The idea was to make a fighting game fun and casual for a more lightweight audience that doesn't want to do complicated inputs. Some studios have tried that over the years, but if anything, I would imagine that a company like Riot or Blizzard would actually manage to bottle that lightning. That's their shtick. there is something that is simply codenamed at the moment Arcane, which doesn't have much specifications, just a kind of cinematic-looking cutscene trailer. I guess the implication is, among all the projects they've released so far, this is the one that looks the most like a single-player cinematic adventure. Which is funny because
isn't it an animation? Is it a game? I thought it was like an actual just animated series.
No, you're right. I was looking at the wrong bit of news. Arcane is the animated series in the League of Legends universe that they're actually making in-house. They're not outsourcing it to an animation studio or a production studio.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neato. That sounds like a good way to spend millions upon millions of dollars. Because that way you know it's going to be made by the people who care. And they definitely have the money to probably reach a pretty technically sound level of execution with all that League of Legends money they've been accruing for a decade.
Man, 10 years of League of Legends. That is crazy.
And I guess the idea is they're going to see which one of these ideas stick and then stick with it for 10 years more.
Yeah. Fair play to them, yeah. If you're gonna wait this long and then have like just a slew of new games and be like, well, we're gonna be as dedicated as we have been.
And they're all different genres too. Last on the list is Legends of Runeterra, which is the I'm assuming this is the League of Legends universe based on some of the artwork and characters I'm seeing here. They're doing a trading card game. Yeah, a multiplayer competitive trading card game.
No, don't do that. Don't.
Matt, you like those, right?
No, don't do that. I don't.
I kind of wanted to play it. After watching footage of it, I was like, ooh, it's Hearthstone and like Gwent with champions. I want to play this.
I don't know. Like, every time someone tries to do a card game, it never works, though. Everyone just goes back to playing Hearthstone.
And Magic the Gathering Arena's got like...
Well, yeah, that's Magic. Magic's been around since...
Magic. I like how you said that.
Magic.
That's magic.
It's been around for ages, man. That's never going away.
Eternity.
Yeah, it's never going away. It's like, you think D&D is going away? It's just like, man, it's not going away. It's there forever. There's no way.
One thing I'm really, really interested in is a like solid, no nonsense, totally plausible and reasonable explanation behind why they waited a whole decade before beginning up these new projects. Like, one thing that always struck me as so weird is that Riot has so many employees, but they've only been making and maintaining one game this whole time. But now we know, oh, they've been working on like 4 or 5 other projects at the same time.
I mean, this game is massive. It's a worldwide phenomenon, so...
Even then, it seems like a comparatively, or at least seemed like a comparatively big company for one project. They got in touch with the Washington Post, set up some interviews. I don't know if I'm satisfied with the quotes, though. Mark Merrill, co-founder of Riot Games, says, "We have the benefit of being able to be long-term. We don't have to go push out a product to meet some quarterly deadline or revenue target or whatnot." Merrill said that the long gap before Riot's new offerings has been due to a confluence of factors, including a constant evaluation process in light of ongoing development in the rapidly evolving video game industry. Which I guess makes it funny that they don't have a battle royale on this list, huh?
Yeah, definitely don't do that. That's worse than a card
game. Like, if they've been waiting 10 years to see which genres flash in the pan and which ones stick around, well, they're also like trying flash in the pan stuff too, like a TCG. Well, I don't know. TCG feels like it has a little more footing than a battle royale over these years, actually. Yeah.
I feel like the shooter, from what I looked at, it was like they were definitely going for the Overwatch Counter-Strike hybrid that could potentially like destroy the world.
And since they're calling it a tactical FPS, I'm assuming it's going to be more Counter-Strike than Overwatch.
It did look very...
Yeah. Oh, wow. It does look like a Counter-Strike Overwatch. Sorry, I'm just coming in because my client keeps calling me. But this looks good.
Hi, client.
Yeah.
Hello.
He can't say hi. It does look like... It looks good, though. It could be a thing.
It does look good, though. It does actually look good.
Okay, never mind. I
Maybe
just saw the
don't
maid
have
stuff.
an eye for these
I just saw
things.
the maid stuff. The maid stuff took me out of it.
The aesthetics, they just kind of look kind of flat to me, but they also look clean and appealing. And I don't know, Overwatch I feel strikes me the same way. Like, it's not technically impressive. It's all art and character design, which is fine, but as a kid, like growing up in the 90s, I'm used to seeing hot new games be kind of tech demos at the same time, and those days have really gone away, and I just need to wake up and live in the real world, don't I?
I mean, they're probably gonna do what they always do. They shoot the spaghetti to the wall, see what sticks, and then they develop on that. Right.
One thing that also rubs me the wrong way is that a lot of language of the 2.5-minute trailer they put out is more about technical issues than gameplay and mechanics and art and world. It's like the lady trying to explain how they do lag compensation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they understand the audience. They understand who's going to play that game.
We keep hearing buzzwords like dedicated servers. No, dedicated servers is not a buzzword. But it's a very specific term that refers to a bit of software you run on a machine that gets other people to connect to it.
Well, it's just a lot more than that, but I understand your point. But, they know their audience, They're not stupid. Right? They're one of the biggest esports, conglomerates in the world.
They're playing a very corporately tested hype game of like not saying what the real names of these things are, which might not have even been decided yet at this point, even though they're also showing off gameplay footage.
Not been decided.
Project A, a video about
Hey.
lag compensation in an FPS game. This is what I'm doing with my life.
Do you know what excited me the most is like a former League of Legends, I don't want to say addict, but definitely like recovering player.
Yeah.
League of Legends Mobile actually excited me to have like mini League of Legends specifically designed, not like a crummy, terrible port that doesn't work well, but a fully ground up designed version of the game for mobiles. And I looked at it and I was like, this actually looks pretty smart. They've done a lot to take the core game and put it on mobile. It looks pretty decent. How it will actually play, I don't know, but we'll find out.
Uses a mouse for most stuff, so I could picture it if the buttons are big and chunky enough for your fingers.
It's more about like precision for last hitting minions and stuff like that, well, creeps and all that kind of stuff. It's tough to transition that kind of thing, but obviously Vainglory and there are other mobile MOBAs. I feel like if anybody's gonna do a pretty sweet port of a MOBA game, it's gonna be Riot.
Oh god, this stuff's gonna be so popular in China, isn't it?
Yep, that's why you can.
If the trade stays open at least. Yeah, it will. All right, let's move on to audience questions, unless you've got any other pressing concerns.
Pressing concerns at dadandsonspodcast at gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
Press
Send
your
your pressing
concerns.
concerns.
Press your concerns now.
I am very appreciative of the first question I have for us this week from an email handle that is simply pro, nothing else, PRO, that's it. Who would win 1 billion lions or one of every Pokemon?
Wait. Against who? The Lions?
Each other. 1 billion lions on one side of the arena, one of every Pokemon on the other. Who would win?
One of every Pokemon.
You think so?
Yeah. Some of them are literal god deities.
You've got a point, but 1 billion is a lot of lions.
That's but I feel like
one-fifth of the human population.
I feel like one Groudon earthquake could probably take out like a good million of them.
Well, even then, you got 1,000 more to go once you take out that first million? I don't know. Maybe I need to take my Windows calculator out.
That's just one Pokemon.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many zeros is 1 billion? 1 billion.
Dollars.
3, 6, 9 zeros. Holy shit. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Divided by, you said 1 million is how much a ground pound earthquake attack could take out?
I would imagine a ground pound ground on. Ground on. Don't make
All
me.
right. Divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You would need to do that attack 1,000 more times.
Yeah, but
to
you
kill
have
a
almost
billion lions.
1,000 Pokemon. And there are other Pokemon that have more powerful attacks.
Well, the Pokemon who have real weak attacks aren't going to be contributing as much as those. I mean, it might come close.
No, I know, but the other powerful
I'll give you
Pokemon
some
are.
credit. I bet it would be a very exciting match with a lot of choke points. But I ultimately think the Lions are going to win from their numerical advantage. Like, they're just going to straight up Zerg rush the Pokemon.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Matt, what are you
Matt,
picturing here?
We need
You've
an
been
expert.
silent.
One of every Pokemon.
Thanks,
You too?
man. See?
Yeah, I mean they're
a no-
lions. They're
it's a
Pokemon have
no-brainer.
powers.
But there's a billion. Yeah, I could. Don't get me wrong. I could easily imagine Mewtwo like snapping his finger and 100 of them just disappear. I could not imagine him having one Mewtwo having the energy and the patience to keep that up for as long as it would take to get through a billion lions.
You know, I get that. But I don't know. Like,
How many trees are on
I
Earth?
feel like a billion
Oh,
lions
that's a
would
trillion.
trip over each other. It would just be
What
easy pickings.
is there a billion of?
Imagine like just the legendary Pokemon would just like go around destroying everything. There's no way a billion lions would ever catch every Pokemon.
But
Maybe some of the weaker ones. You know,
Oh yeah, totally.
maybe the
I
grass
just
Pokemon
am
would
picturing
just get wrecked.
Mewtwo getting surrounded on all sides for like 30 minutes of constant rushing and not being able to fend off 1 billion of these lions.
Imagine Jigglypuff just.
Oh, Jigglypuff's gone.
No, she's just gonna sing. She's gonna.
She
I don't
could
know
do
what
rats,
her radius
like in
is
Super
for her
Smash
powers.
Brothers and
But
fuck up like 4
Actually,
lions.
I think I'm steering closer to your side here because Jigglypuff could just fly to the top of a tree.
yeah,
Wait, but no, a billion lions could probably crowd up and knock it down.
but they're gonna be asleep. She just keeps singing.
Would they be smart enough to? She couldn't put a billion lions to sleep. Like some
All right.
lion would catch her on the cooldown.
I definitely think some of the Pokemon are way smarter. You know, based on the cartoon.
Then lions.
than
I mean,
lions.
Mewtwo has basically a human brain.
Yes. So it'll be like a human killing with powers, killing all the.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Mewtwo can control the other Pokemon like telepathically and tell them to do their most powerful moves.
If somehow some incredibly anti-instinctive herd mentality kicks in and lions work together to solve problems, a billion lions could knock down a tree, maybe even knock down a door, get in a building. Could a billion lions, though, attack Pokemon who are in the water? Would those Pokemon be safe?
Probably.
Maybe.
Because, like, I can't imagine... Oh, God, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm on the Pokemon side, because I could not imagine even a billion lions being able to chase down a Gyarados, like, swimming across the ocean.
See, that was easy.
Yeah, there we go. Just had to think of Gyarados. I could think of a billion lions taking on a Mewtwo, but not a Gyarados.
Yeah.
No way, Mewtwo would fuck it up.
Yeah, he'll just fly away and restore his pee-pee. Yeah.
Well, Mewtwo would get tired eventually and have to come down, right? At which point the billion lions, or however many are left, could just keep rushing
Lions
them.
can't climb mountains. They can't climb every
Well, they
mountain.
can climb on top of each other.
You think lions are smart enough for that?
I don't know what a billion lions are going to do if you all put them in a room and give them a goal.
Yeah, a billion whatever. If they're dumb, then they're not going to be able to do anything.
Let's see, how many lions exist? 20,000.
That's it?
Wait,
Those
what?
lions are going to need to do some...
Wait,
some...
what?
It said 20,000 on Google when I typed in the question.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
That is pretty horrifying. That 20,000 is pretty easy to extinct, especially the way things have been going lately.
I have 20 times
only
more
20,000 of
subscribers.
one of the most recognizable animals in the world left.
Yeah. And there's so many humans.
Terrifying.
There's so many humans. That's really
It's going to
weird.
be so weird when archaeologists in the future find. No, it's not. They're going to know what happened. They're going to know why the lion is on the MGM logo
even
but
get
not
that far.
in the remains.
Yeah, fuck, that is terrifying.
That is pretty bad. That is really bad.
They used to live in Greece too. When I was in Greece, there were
Oh yeah.
Lions
there were
everywhere.
statues and bones of lions. And when you read the Odyssey and the Iliad, they talk about lions.
So, I swear we have a ton of questions with the same-ish name, but different. Rick the Nick sounds so familiar.
We've
Slick the
done
Rick,
a few Rick the Nicks before.
Hick the Jick. Chick the Hick.
We've encountered him, the Rick of the Nick. Rick the Nick says, I was recently watching the new Down the Rabbit Hole video about Wings of Redemption, and it got me reminiscing about that era of YouTube gaming communities and their associated drama. My question for you is, do you have any memories of the gaming communities at that time? I'm thinking primarily on YouTube when Machinima reigned supreme and Billions would hold contests for all of the Call of Duty YouTube commentators. If that wasn't necessarily your niche, what early online gaming community memories do you have, and for what games?
Machinima. Man. Machinima. You remember when everyone's trying to get signed to Machinima and yeah, it didn't do good. A lot of people spinned off of it. Oh man. Call of Duty. Man. Do people still watch Call of Duty? They probably do. What am I saying?
The new one is coming out with a lot of hype and numbers behind it, as usual.
Yeah.
Hype man.
Modern Warfare. No subtitle, no number. Just Modern Warfare 2019. I'm going to go far back for this one and maybe modify the question a bit and talk about your early memories of internet communities. Because I have a weird one. There was a Jedi Knight 2 clan that I was involved with.
Why wouldn't you join my clan?
Because you never invited me until like a minute ago.
Ah, you see, you had to change your tune because you did get an invite.
A minute ago? 12:10 Okay, 50 minutes ago. What? Because you didn't send me an invite until less than an hour ago. Anyways, yeah, I was involved with the Jedi Knight 2 clan that had someone in the group who died. And there was also a girl in the group who was secretly married to someone in the forums, and they didn't tell anyone until later, and it was a big deal for some reason I couldn't understand. There was also a really, really, really good map maker in the group who was a graphic designer, and I was really impressed that they had a terabyte hard drive at the time. This was in like 2003.
Yeah.
Whoa, a terabyte hard drive in 2003 is insane.
They invited me to a LAN party in North Carolina, and my mom wouldn't let me go, and I didn't really want to go anyway at the end of the day, and that's how I rationalized it.
Things could have changed for you if you went, man. You never know.
Imagine how different my life would have been if I went to that LAN party in North Carolina in 2003.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Man.
I miss forums.
You miss what?
Forums.
Yeah, I mean, Reddit, I gotta say, is pretty good. I've recently dived into it, and I mean, I mostly just read. I don't really interact, but oh my god, some really good stories on there. Really good stories.
Yeah, but do you know if they're real?
I mean, does it matter at the end of the day? Does it matter?
I think so, because kids are growing up thinking it's real.
You think people are just making up stuff and posting it online?
No, of course. Who wouldn't do that?
No,
Who would go on the internet and lie like that?
But I don't. You're saying like everything.
Okay, /r relationship stories, I feel, have like a 20% chance of being fabricated. /r am I the asshole stories, I feel you're bumping into like the 40% territory. /r teenagers, /r insane parents, /r raised by narcissist, I feel is bordering into complete fiction. That like basically kids practicing writing for storytelling for that sort of material. Like a lot of it regularly gets debunked. You find out it's copy pasta from some other forum a year ago.
And what's the difference between Reddit now and forums back then?
Okay, so oh boy,
forums are a bit more tight knit. Reddit's
so they wouldn't lie?
Sea of millions.
No, they would lie. You just had more of a name and a signature and a little picture
you could
attached
call
to
out
your
that
name.
bullshit a lot easier.
And it was harder to make a new account and go through that whole process of building up your personality again. There wasn't a voting system. Like threads would bury old content if it was good, and you would have to keep the link around by word of mouth rather than the votes bringing the cream to the top. But man, over the past 10 years, like I have seen the demographic of Reddit shift to teenage boys in a way that I am not quite sure I approve of. Like, remember how I was talking about /r teenagers and /r raised by narcissists and /r insane parents are so popular now? And who would do that other than someone who still lives with their kids?
But there's so much other stuff out there. That's not the only thing that's in Reddit, though.
I know, but like
abandoned porn, right? That's like the most opposite of what you're talking about.
I do like the porn subreddits. Yeah, no, the subreddits where you just post a creepy or cool looking picture. Like landscape porn, I don't think ever really went bad. Oh, /r dank memes is shit ever since the 9/11 jokes got in. That's the thing. You can tell if someone's a kid on the internet. Well, I don't know if you can or not, but it's a good gauge by like how offensive they find 9/11. Because like, you know, we knew people who died. Like we had family, friends and stuff. Like that's a real tragedy for people who lived through it. But for kids who didn't, that's history for them. So it's easier for them to joke about, and that's how you can tell a demographic shift has occurred.
Adults joke about 9/11 too. A lot of.
Well, I'm sure they don't do it as much.
I guess it's the way they do it. I guess. I mean, I haven't personally made any jokes, but at least I don't think so. But I think I probably would make a joke if it's like really good. I don't know. Like it's. But the thing is, like, I don't know, if you can't joke about something, then it'll just remain this like sore subject forever. You gotta laugh.
Yeah, but there's something different from the maturity of the presentation when the joke is that you're watching a YouTube poop and they splice in footage of the planes hitting the tower.
Yeah, it's probably the way you do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
you're having
like
a conversation
you can
with
tell
someone.
someone's maturity sometimes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a bit, that's a bit childish. That's like childish comedy. Really childish comedy there. YouTube.
So for some reason, maybe it's just my insecurity and projection, I feel like forum users leaned older and Reddit users lean younger. Definitely YouTube audiences lean younger. Like this is part of the statistics. I can look at my analytics for that. Everyone lies about their age on the internet anyway.
I don't
so
think
know.
that matters now, truly, but back when we are talking about fond memories of, you know, gaming drama or at least early fringes of the gaming communities online, it was all forums. Like Newgrounds, even Newgrounds was basically just a giant forum with links to profiles of videos and games and stuff.
Speaking of edgy, immature kids,
yeah, like, Newgrounds is where
really broke those new grounds on the internet, huh?
Newgrounds was incredible at the time, and I have very fond memories of being a member of Bleach HQ, the #1 Bleach anime forum.
Oh man,
I was obsessed with that show and that forum and the friends I made on that forum. None of them I have any idea who they were or what they did, but talking about Bleach and video games all day long, that was a great time.
That's the beauty of it.
It was lovely.
I guess like knowing someone for real kind of destroys the magic.
Shut up,
and
dude.
I think the line there is account creation. If it takes longer than 90 seconds to make an account, that steers away a lot of trolls that otherwise would just quickly make a 15-second account and do whatever got them banned last time. Oh, and remember, the Something Awful forums always had a $10 paywall, and that would steer it away too from trolls abusing the system. But
yeah,
no,
you got places like, well, NeoGAF was, turned out the way it did, but
because of forum drama.
yeah, but that had a pretty rigorous registration sign up. You couldn't use emails from, places like Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo. You couldn't use standard emails. You had to use very specific,
I had to use my @SuperBunnyHop account for it.
Yeah. But that didn't really work in the end. Oh well. That was fun. I have fun memories of forums.
Yeah.
Not drama. I didn't remember too much of that. Apart from one specific website I was a member of once that the day Kim.com kind of had police swarming his mansion in New Zealand or wherever the hell it was, that melted this specific website, and that was pretty funny.
Wait, are you still talking about the Bleach forums?
No. If only it was that simple. No, I'm not.
Oh man.
It sounds like you're obfuscating something.
I'm not going to mention the website.
The Kim.com was well, I think the raid was an egregious example of U.S. foreign policy bullying over a country's sovereignty over their treaties. But the website he managed was known for hosting, like whereas and shady pirate stuff.
Maybe. I don't know.
But
Stop
you still
asking,
brought it up.
you fucking knock.
Should we move on to the last question?
Oh, are we still doing this?